Hey folks, what's I see you today? So I was digging through my brokes and I found this piece of Georgia coastal swirl here, and it's one of the pieces I was thinking about making a hafted scraper. I thought, well, why don't we make a hafted scraper point out of it, but let's haft it to something. So I got this rib bone here and I've kind of messed with it, kind of make it look aged, and I'm going to haft this, or the plan is I've notched it like this. I cut all this with flint. No, not really, I didn't. I did it on the bandsaw. I don't have that kind of time. But the idea is to haft it like this, and I'll show you something here. Hold on just a second. Okay, I should have this book already ready. So I was opening this book to the Alaska portion. This is the Caveman book, 13th edition. And I was looking at these scrapers here, and there's some of them that are hafted to driftwood and things, and then there's some that's hafted to whalebone and caribou bone and all kinds of stuff like that. And so I thought I would make one and haft it to this as a little display piece. And it'd be a fun little project, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to make a hafted scraper and actually haft it. I don't believe I don't know if there was any pitch. I don't see anything on these that show any pitch. These are all Alaska ones, of course, but we'll see how it goes. I carved a couple of notches in here for the binding to go through, and we'll just have to see how it goes here. May need to add more of those, I'm not sure. But let's get into it and we'll see what happens here. Alright. Well, I was just doing some work out here and I have moved my gloves. Hold on. I thought I was all ready. I've been building a new bracket for my saw. The first one didn't work, so now on this here, in order for this to fit in here and lay against there, then I need to take flakes just off this bottom so it fits in there good. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do some pressure flaking here and take some flakes off that bottom. Get that edge turned. That last video, I was a little bit out of frame on a part of it. When I got to the part where I got frustrated, then I wasn't paying as close of attention, and I apologize about that. I do have this new camera angle, and I am liking it a lot. When I have my setup set just right, then it makes it a little easier to stay in frame. And I think the shot angle is just better, and that was all from a viewer suggestion. Ted Snyder, the inventor of the Nacho-Matic, sent me a message the other day, and there's 50 Nacho-Matics on their way to me. So I'll have those at the Cato Ridge nap in. Okay, so you can see how that's turned up there. I may need to grind this part down some more. In order for that to fit just right. Okay, yeah, we'll have to file this down a little bit. All these were rounded going down too, that I see on there. I'm going to do a little sanding and I'll be right back. There's no sense in y'all sitting through all that mess, I guess. But I'm just going to probably run a file in there and sand that down some. Or I'll do it on the belt sander. I'll be right back. Okay. So I grinded a little bit of an angle on that. So we'll see if our scraper fits in there now. It looks like it actually fits pretty doggone good right like that. So we will abrade these edges where the hafting's going to be. Flatten that off a little bit in the back. This front part's already sharp. I'll clean that up a little bit. But for the most part, the business end of it is pretty much already done. It was before, so. Doesn't have to be much done to it, really. I need another. The curve in this antler, for whatever reason, gives you like, well, here we go. Let me back up a little bit. This curve that's in this antler right here really allows you to get a lot of, I don't know why, it just allows you to get a lot of pressure on it real easy. I really like this flaker. And they're all rounded on these edges. Everyone that I've seen, for the most part, got a little bit of a roundness to the leading edge. Something like that. Like I said, I didn't see any pitch or anything on those. There's no mention of pitch, and some of these are ones they actually found. They're intact, so and they date back from as early as 200 years ago, all the way back to 3,000 years before present. They were made like this. So I got a couple of different choices that I can use for binding. I've got either this artificial sinew, or I've got this jute thread, or jute cord, and I'd like to try to use the jute cord if I could and see how it looks. The artificial sinew would definitely be easier, but I don't know. Let's try this and see how it looks. We can always take it off if it don't look good. It didn't pass the test. Just have to see here. And I won't be able to attach this the way that I normally would. So most of these just have a single string going over them. Oh, let's see here. How are we going to do this? Now that's awfully wiggly. I think we might use some pitch on ours. I don't know if I'm going to be able to secure that enough. But if we melt some pitch in there, that's going to help a lot. Let me go get some pine pitch. Okay, we're going to heat some pine resin and let it drip down in there, and then we'll heat it up and smash our thing in there. Wind's blowing through that door. May not be able to do this out here. Alright, well, she's pouring out on my pad. So let's see if we can stick that in there. The book don't make mention of any kind of resin, but I am sure that they must have used something. Resin in my groove. Let's see here. Let's melt some down in. Oh, well, you guys can see this. There we go. Nice. Now when that dries, that's going to go a long ways towards holding it in there. Let's see if this makes mention of You know, of course, there probably wouldn't be any of the resin left. Although there was driftwood left, so you would think that, I think so Alaska Hafted scraper, 1800s driftwood handle, reattached sinew added later. So most likely the binding and any kind of resin or whatever, Sitka from Sitka spruce or something like that. I don't know what all that they could in that particular area, which trees they had, but I'm sure they had something where they could get pitch. So I'm sure all that was just gone with time. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. It just kind of quit recording or something. So I don't know how much that got caught and how much didn't, but I'm going to try this little trick, see if it works. I'm not sure how else to do the binding and attach it. It'd have to be a I like to burn all those little fibers off. Should make a cool little display piece. Yeah, really the wrapping was pretty minimal. So it almost had to have been done with pine pitch, I would think. Or some sort of pitch. Asphaltum or something, I don't know what. I don't know exactly what it was they would have used. I'll have to look into that and see. It's amazing that as early as just a couple hundred years ago, they were still using this in Alaska. Which I've helped scrape my fair share of seal hides and things, and I believe this would have worked really well. All right, I'm going to show you guys another little thing here. Hold on a second. Okay, so we got some pretty new looking jute cord on there. So my friend John Tuttle showed me these things, And they're little touch-up stain things. I was using these, not the, you know, I'll just use my leather stain and it works same. So. But we're going to use a little, let's try a little early American. And gonna color that cordage a little bit darker. So it's not the natural jute color. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, put a little bit of that on there just to darken it up a little bit more. I'm usually a little more careful than that, but once you got that on there, then I suppose they probably used hide glue to cover the binding, because this is going to get wet, right? I'm sure they probably used hide glue or something like that, or they could have used more pitch over it. But we're going to use some wood glue here. And this is going to dry clear. Just to make sure our binding stays in place. I know a lot of y'all don't make anything, you just make arrowheads, and I love doing that too, but I like doing little projects like this once in a while too, making knives and stuff. But that's a pretty cool little scraper, I would say. That's what she looks like. So cool. I'll piece these two pieces together. Hopefully it's all on there and I'm mostly in frame. But yeah, you could scrape with that like no one's business, and it's in there good. I mean, really good. But I'll probably throw that in my little case in there and just display it just like that. People say, "What the heck is that?" I'll say, "That's a scraper," and most people will go, "That's not a scraper." Most people go, "That's a scraper." And well, I guess you could do one side and that would make a great scraper for doing your initial thing, but I believe most of the scrapers in all the different cultures were pretty much something like this, or thumb scrapers. But I don't know, pretty cool. I don't know how I could have made it any more older looking or rugged or not, but I do have some caribou antlers, caribou that I shot. I thought about making one with caribou antler because it does mention some of them are hafted to caribou antler, but I got a whole bucket of bones over there, and I just thought, well, you know, that'll look good on a rib bone. I took a piece, this is sharp along here, and I took a piece of flint and rubbed that down and stuff, but that's pretty cool. It'll look cool in a case, I think. So it's a little hafted scraper. It could have been shorter. I mean, I could have brought this back like this maybe. So it could have been a little shorter, but some of these, now some of them had finger grooves right here. So let me show you that. I did see that on some of these here. Oh, too far. We did a well lance point. There's a video on that. I'll link the video in this one to that whale lance point. It's actually one of my more popular videos. Did it quite a while ago. Yeah, here they are right here. This one's got a walrus effigy carved into it. That's pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to be the one to find that, huh? That'd be pretty neat. Honestly, I can't remember what we were just looking for. What were we looking for? Oh yeah, the finger grooves. So right here it talks about hafted scraper, note finger grooves evident at top. So they got a groove right there for their finger to set in just like that. But you could set it on this one just like this right here and just get going. So yeah, so some of them had a finger groove. Just kind of notched out the side right there. So that's pretty cool. All right, that's it. We'll talk to y'all later, and probably won't be another video today. Got family dinner tonight, and I just had a minute in between working on the saw and thought I would throw this video together real quick. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and keep napping.